Hello everyone and welcome back to Scorpio Tech. In this video we're going to be unboxing and reviewing Corsair's K65 Mini RGB keyboard, which is a 60% board featuring Cherry MX speed switches, which in itself is somewhat interesting as Corsair do manufacture their own switches but decided not to use them for this particular board. The K65 Mini is retailing for about $100 with two options available for the switches, which are of course the Cherry MX speeds and the Cherry MX reds. The K65 Mini is also available in black and white variants, both of which feature dynamic perky RGB lighting, which I'll showcase to you later in this video, and a standard key layout, which means you can add your own keycap sets if you wish to modify the keyboard further. The product name is also slightly misleading. Being called the K65 Mini, one would assume it was a 65% keyboard, but as I stated, this is a 60% board, so it is missing the dedicated arrow keys and some functional keys as well that you would usually find on 65% boards. It's arrived in an attractive and well protected box with the keyboard immediately on display once opened. As well as this, we were given a keycap puller, Corsair branded keycap, spare spacebar, and also a lovely detachable braided USB Type-C to USB Type-A cable. I'm really glad more of the mainstream companies are now using detachable cables, as it means we can use our fancy coiled cables, which is great for enthusiasts. But enough about the extras, let's take a look at the keyboard itself. The build is very sturdy, but it is plastic, and also the kind of plastic that can scratch quite easily, so if you are a violent gamer this may be an issue for you, but for everyone else you're going to be just fine. I personally really like this casing. It's got a nice angle and shape, but one horrible mistake. The USB Type-C port is not centered on the back and it drives me crazy. Please never do this again, Corsair. But if we let that one vital mistake slide, the rest of the board is actually pretty impressive. Unfortunately there is no wrist rest or incline settings, so if this typing angle doesn't suit you then this board isn't going to be for you. Now let's move on to a quick sound and typing test with the Cherry MX speed switches. I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. There is a lot of pinging when pressing the keys down to the point where it's actually quite annoying to use, and it's not just one or two keys either, it's the entire board. However, the keystrokes themselves do feel quite decent. If anything, they're just a little bit scratchy and loud. Comparing the board to the RK61, it has a similar build size, frame and typing angle, but the RK61, which is using red switches, feels much softer and smoother and is available for half the price of the K65 at just $50 on Amazon. Moving on to the RGB and iCUE software, the keyboard finally stands out from the crowd. The RGB on this keyboard is much brighter and more vibrant than most other keyboards I've tested. And of course, if you are already within Corsair's ecosystem, then you have the option to sync all of your lighting peripherals together. The light shines through the caps really nicely with no unwanted shine through thanks to the double shot PBT keycaps. By far the most standout feature on this board though is the gorgeous fractal design on the spacebar, which differentiates it from the other 60% boards on the market, but aside from that the keyboard doesn't do too much to stand out from its competition visually. Once connected to the PC I was prompted to update the keyboard's firmware. Once done I had full access to the lighting, macros and profiles through the iCUE software. You can create up to 50 onboard profiles, adjust each key specifically to create macros, and also have the option to go up to 8000 Hz polling rate, which as a lot of other YouTubers pointed out is kind of pointless. But aside from that the software works brilliantly with this keyboard. The rainbow wave setting really showcases just how nice the lighting is on the K65 Mini. I can imagine if you had some pudding keycaps or something similar it would look even more magnificent, but shortly I will show you how the keyboard looks with Corsair's own Arctic White double shot PBT keycaps. For the rest of the lighting options, as I said, each key can be customized individually, which you will rarely find on cheaper keyboards. However, there are a plethora of preset scenes within iCUE, as well as the full customization such as watercolor, color pulse, color shift and a whole bunch of others to have a play around with. But as you'll know by now, I'm boring and basic, so I'll just set it to blue and have done with it. So let's take a look at how the black K65 Mini looks with Corsair's own Arctic White PBT keycaps. These are currently on sale for less than $20 on Corsair's website, which is honestly great value, so I'll drop a link to that down below, and they also do green, pink, black, blue and red variants of this as well, but as I said it is a standard key layout so you can always source your own keycaps to use with the K65 Mini base. They also come with a keycap puller and a bunch of O-rings as well, which is a really nice touch. The keycaps feel really nice with a textured outer coating and a generally solid build. They definitely feel like they're worth more than $20, that is for sure. Now it's time for the fun bit, putting all of the caps back onto the keyboard. I was honestly pretty skeptical about how the white caps would look with the black base of the K65, but as I placed more and more I loved how it was turning out. It created this high contrast build that stands out from any other keyboards I own, plus the RGB works even better with the white keycaps, so it really was a win-win upgrade. The only real disappointment here is that there was no white equivalent of the beautiful black radial spacebar, but you could always re-add that as a standout feature if you wanted to. Overall for the price, I guess I'm slightly disappointed, mainly with the pinging sounds, so I'm definitely going to try and mod this keyboard with some foam to reduce the echoing and pinging sounds as much as I possibly can. It's more frustrating than anything honestly, because aside from that this is a beautiful keyboard with great software and lighting functionality. If you're already in the Corsair ecosystem, you'll definitely be happy with the K65 Mini as it seamlessly works with your other lighting peripherals. If however you are looking for a budget 60% keyboard, you might be better off with something like the RK61 I showed you earlier, or others such as the Gamma K61 or the Red Dragon K630. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more tech content. I also wanted to say a quick thank you for 60,000 subscribers, I really do appreciate your continued support. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.